During the AS Media Studies course, I have used a number of different pieces of technology which has helped me along the way. The first piece of technology used was the Mac computers that are already in the media classroom, so it didn't cause me any expense. However, they were very expensive for the school, so had to be handled with great care. This was the first time for me using the Mac computers, so I did struggle a bit navigating my way around the computer, as it is different from the computers that I use. Another thing that I use quite a lot is Google, as I needed to research my film genre and find out what expectations are included for a typical thriller film. I use Google quite a lot throughout my whole process of researching the different things that I need to include. Google was quite a useful resource as I was able to research anything I was unsure about. Another resource that I used throughout my work was Blogger. Being the first time using Blogger, I found it difficult in using it as Blogger is different from what I'm used to using, and I was unsure of the type of things that I should be talking about and including, as a blog is worth 20 marks and needs to be of a good standard. For some of my coursework, I used Microsoft Word so that I could write as much as I wanted and could add in detail later on. Word is often the document used when people want to write something quite lengthy, so it was helpful when I wanted to analyse different film openings that shared the same genre as mine. Whilst analysing these film openings, I used a website called Art of the Title, as the list of sequences was nearly never ending, so it was helpful when I was trying to find opening sequences of thriller movies. For other parts of my work, I used Microsoft PowerPoint so that I could make my work look more interesting and so that I could present my work to people as research to find out who my target audience were and what they would expect from a thriller film. PowerPoint made my work look a lot more presentable and fun compared to Word document. I used PowerPoint when making the presentation for the focus group coursework, as I wanted to keep them interested and make sure that they didn't turn off straight away. Another way of presenting my work was by using Prezi, as it was different from both Word and PowerPoint, but still was presentable and eye-catching. Prezi has always been quite difficult for me to use, even though it wasn't the first time for me using it. Prezi is a good website to use for presentations and is a good way of presenting things purely because it's different and unique. When putting my coursework on my blog, I used a website called Scribd, which helped me upload my work that was on programs like Prezi, PowerPoint and Word. So this website was very helpful, even though I wasn't too sure about how to use it. Once I found out how to work my way around the website, it was very easy to use. Whilst filming the prelim task, we used a Handycam to film, which wasn't too much of a problem, as most of my group had used this camera at one point, so we was all familiar with the camera. We was able to get decent footage from it, and as the footage we got was very clear and steady, it was good quality in the end. To edit the footage we filmed with the Handycam, we used iMovie. This was the first time we used this program, so it took us a while to process how to use it and what we had to press to achieve the results we wanted. iMovie became quite easy to use once we understood the basics. We was able to make our ending results as good as we planned. We made a survey on a website called SurveyMonkey. This was to ensure that we was able to find out what our target audience like in a thriller movie and to see who our target audience was. This website wasn't something my group was used to using, so it took us a little while to learn the basics, but once we got the hang of it, it was easy and we was able to create useful questions that will tell us who our target audience are and what they want and expect from a thriller movie. We then put the link to the survey we made on a social networking site such as Facebook to get a wide range of people answering the questions we just made so that we could get good and informative answers. To film our opening sequence, we used a Canon SLR 60D camera to achieve high quality footage, as this camera is very expensive and high quality. With this camera we had to handle it with great care as it was quite expensive. This camera was pretty straightforward when using it, but was still different from what we was used to, as there was a lot of different features to it. We then had to edit all of our footage we got from the camera using the program called Final Cut Pro, which was quite different from iMovie, as this program produced more professional looking work, which means it was more difficult to use and confusing, as there was so many different categories for all the different parts and processes of editing. Final Cut Pro helped us create our opening with all the helpful effects and sections of editing that helped us create our opening with great ease. When we was near the end of editing the footage, we used a website called Freeplay Music for non-diegetic sound we used in the background of our opening sequence, as Freeplay Music has a lot of different soundtracks that are non-copyright. This was helpful as we wanted to avoid using a soundtrack that was copyright. However, with this website, most of the soundtracks only lasted 30 seconds, and with our opening sequence being 2 minutes, it was hard to piece it all together to make it sound normal. Throughout the whole process of doing my coursework, YouTube was very helpful, as I was able to see other people's work, which helped me as it gave me ideas and helped me decide what looked good and what didn't. So when I was watching examples, I was able to see what ones of my ideas were going to look okay and which ones were going to look unprofessional. As I was on YouTube quite a lot, I was able to see professional clips of thriller films and other AS Media Studies coursework, which was very helpful as I was able to see what grades they got and why they got it.